What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Happy Tuesday, happy reset day. It's been an exciting morning so far, and I gotta be honest, before I was gonna do this video, I did not expect it to take us straight in. I already approve of kind of this new way of kicking off a season. I like it like this. It's a good thing I thought to maybe be broadcasting and recording before we started, but anyway. This won't take us too long, so I'm just going to go through my breakdown of the Season 9 reveal real quick here in the shadow of Mighty Jupiter and this evil pyramid ship. This evil Dorito that is now here on Io. So, this season is now officially called Season of Arrivals. Pyramid ships are here. We're looking at it. We have a new dungeon called Prophecy. It looks like the Realm of the Nine. It's all trippy and neon and future wavy and weird. That opens at 2 p.m. today, and there will be a exclusive earnable armor set that you'll get from completing that dungeon. So once we're done with this, we're going to be grinding to get ready for that dungeon and moving through everything. Moving forward from this season, we'll have Season 12, which is the start of Year 4 this fall. We now know that Year 4's expansion is called Beyond Light, and it will be the first in a trilogy of expansions exploring the, quote, true nature of light and dark. And one of the things that was mentioned in the trailer was the line between light and dark is so very thin, and now we're going to be crossing that line. Europa is confirmed as the location. We will have a new darkness power subclass. I believe Luke called it Stasis. I'm excited about that. The Deepstone Crypt is confirmed. And if you were paying attention to that trailer, you will know that the Exo Stranger is going to be returning. So that's exciting for me. I've always wanted more of that, whatever it means, because it was interesting to me at the end of Vanilla Destiny 1. So I'm hype. Going forward from that, we know that there will be at least 2 more fall expansions. Year 5 in the fall of 2021 is titled The Witch Queen, and it will deal with Savathun. So that prediction that we're going to deal with her is correct. Then Year 6 in the fall of 2022 will be Lightfall. That is the working title. The symbol for that is the pyramid. So my guess is that the beginning of the second collapse, or the prevention of the second collapse, is going to be the theme for Year 6, which is kind of as far out as Destiny's concrete plans are going. The main thing that I want to talk about that's most relevant, and it's equal parts exciting and sad, is the Destiny Content Vault, the DCV. The general idea of this is that older / less played content will be vaulted in place of new or returning content rotated in each year, usually at expansion times. So positive there, it's usually a year span before any of these kind of major changes are going to happen. And I just want to go over to the Building a Viable Future in Destiny 2 summary that happened regarding this. Hold on a second, I'm just going to move around a little bit so we don't get kicked out here. So I'm going to read the too long didn't read that was put at the start. Destiny 2 is too large to efficiently update and maintain. This I understand with my technical knowledge. The size and complexity of the game are also contributing to more bugs and less innovation. We can all confirm that. Instead of building Destiny 3 and leaving Destiny 2 behind, each year we are going to cycle older, less actively played content out of the live game and into what we're calling the Destiny Content Vault, the DCV. I'm going to pause and put my own thought in here. I think this is probably the best solution. I don't think any of us want a whole new game. And I do like this idea that this game will grow and change and continue on a la World of Warcraft, where it just keeps going. They did say in the more detailed section of this that they felt Destiny 1 going to Destiny 2, where we just started over, kind of for the same reason, was a mistake, and they didn't want to do it again. And I agree with that. I'm actually happy with that. So this is a great compromise. Moving on, this will allow us to add and to support Destiny 2 content for years, including the 3 new annual expansions we announced today, starting with Beyond Light this fall. Next bit is the bit that got me super excited. The DCV will include all content from Destiny 1 and anything that cycles out from Destiny 2. So this is where the sad is not so sad, because there's always a chance that what goes out comes back in. And this is also the vehicle for us to get what we've asked for, which is Destiny 1 content. I feel appropriately compensated by that fact. Unvaulting will start in Destiny 2 Year 4, so that's Beyond Light, with the Cosmodrome coming back, as well as its 3 strikes. And everybody sit down, take a deep breath. The return of the Vault of Glass raid. Let it soak in for a minute. The Vault of Glass is coming back. Okay. Primary Destiny 2 content leaving the game and going into the vault this fall are the destinations Mars, Io, Titan, Mercury, and Leviathan, and their supported activities. Key phrase. There will be new ways to earn the exotics originally linked to content that has entered the DCV. When Beyond Light ships, the director will have the following destinations: Europa, that's our new location for the fall; Cosmodrome, that's unvaulted content from the DCV; Moon, Tangled Shore, Dreaming City, EDZ, and Nessus. This approach allows us to respond to player feedback more rapidly, enable more innovation, and will keep Destiny 2 and your characters thriving for years to come. More details to come soon and throughout the year. Overall, I'm happy with this compromise. And I mean, I'm not smart enough to have thought of it myself. So I applaud them, because I think it's a really great answer to a bunch of problems, and I think it's a really great answer to how do we kind of repair this mistake of starting over, moving from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, and still get to enjoy this content that we've left behind in 1, which is a super duper huge shame. Now, it also makes me wonder what's going to happen to the support for Destiny 1, but that's a question that'll have to be answered another day. And then we need to scroll down. Let me check my notes here. Okay, we've read that. So I'm going to dive a little deeper into the long version of the Vault preview, because I feel like what's in here is really, really, really important. Let's see. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. This is the kind of the more detailed breakdown, kind of like patch notes with regard to Year 4 Content Vault preview, and this is important. So, returning from the Destiny Content Vault, we already mentioned this, on September 22nd, 2020, the Cosmodrome as a selectable, explorable destination, but not yet at full D1 parity on that day. So, the full Cosmodrome, what I read from this, is supposed to return, but on that first day, that first stretch, the entire thing is not going to be ready to rock. They're mainly wanting to leverage the Cosmodrome's initial return to expand the Guardian origin story. So that's the priority, and then it seems like more of the Cosmodrome is going to return later. The Cosmodrome's Will of Crota strike will also be added to the strikes playlist. So these are some of the things I'm really excited about. I loved D1 strikes, and I'm fine with trading off so that we can see some of these things return. Works for me. Let's see, during season 13, so this is going to be 3 months into Year 4, okay? The Cosmodrome will be fleshed out to roughly D1 Year 1 parity, and I assume they're going to do the same kind of upgrading that they did for the moon. Luke did kind of touch on that in the reveal. Cosmodrome's Devil's Lair and Fallen Saber Strikes will return. So again, Season 2, 3 months into Year 4. Okay, so Year 4, Season 2, or Season 13. We're going to get those other 2 strikes. Sometime during Year 4, Destiny 1's first raid, the Vault of Glass, returns. So that's kind of your little timeline for what to expect. Now the detailed breakdown that explains a little better what happens to the stuff that's going into the DCV. On September 22nd, 2020, Io, Titan, Mercury, Mars, and Leviathan will be cycled out and no longer accessible. Little sad point for me because I like doing that raid. This includes all PvE activities, including campaigns on those destinations. So that means any raid, any strike, any PvE activity associated with these locations will be vaulted. I must say, too, immediately jumping to mind, I'm gonna miss killing that giant Wormzol on Mars once it goes into the vault. It is sad. I have good memories of that. But we get Year 1 stuff, we get new stuff. There's always a chance it can return. I think Mars is good enough to return someday. So I'm not going to get too upset. I'm not going to get too upset. It's okay. Let's see. Other key Year 4 details. 3 raids playable this fall, including a new one set in the Deepstone Crypt on Europa as part of the Beyond Light expansion. And so I'm trying to figure this out. I mean, what do we have right now? We have Last Wish. We have Scourge of the Past. We have Crown of Sorrow. So I guess Crown of Sorrow, Leviathan and Leviathan's 2 raid lairs are getting removed. Right? Yeah. That is going to be right. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to have Last Wish. We're going to have... No, that's not right. Last Wish, Scourge of the Past. Last Wish, Scourge of the Past, and... Okay, this makes sense. We do need to call this out. The 3rd raid is Garden of Salvation, so that explains why Last Wish and Garden of Salvation's armor sets were picked. And I mean, Scourge of the Past will still exist, but those 3 raids are going to be playable. But no, there's something else going on. I guess Last Wish and Scourge of the Past are going to be the only raids left standing. Besides the new one that'll be on the Deepstone Crypt. Well, I wish that I had been able to raid sooner, but that's what it looks like. Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, and the one in the Deepstone Crypt on Europa in Beyond Light. Okay. And then, of course, Vault of Glass will be added to that menu. So there will be 4. Unless something has to rotate out for it. I don't know. I'm confused about that. We'll see. But they have said that any exotics from vaulted content will have new paths to acquisition. So if it's the exotic you're worried about, there'll be other ways. Okay, here we go. Available strikes will be based on a pool of possible strikes from active destinations. When a destination goes into the DCV, so do its strikes. We kind of talked on that about Mars. PvP map playlist will remain a curated best-of mixture of maps from D1 and 2. This last line is something that I didn't hear anywhere until I read it here. Gambit and Gambit Prime are being merged into a single mode with their original armor visuals available to earn from the Drifter. So, what I'm trying to understand here, I guess that means that the abilities are not going to be part of that merger. Anyway, we're going to have to wait. I don't want to deep dive into that right now. The important thing is Gambit and Gambit Prime are being merged into a single mode. And note that they did not say we chose Gambit or we chose Gambit Prime. So, we got kicked out. No! We were inactive for too long. Well, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just sit here and talk about it. Let's see what it says here. To be clear, the DCV does not apply to any weapons and armor in a player's inventory or vault. We kind of knew this. The DCV is about activities and destinations, so that does kind of confirm something that I suspected before. That the activities do kind of run off of that world, and if that world is not loaded and not part of your game, it doesn't exist, which is unfortunate. But there you go. We know you will have a lot of questions about how this will work. We will share more updates about our content plans throughout the summer. This includes a detailed overview of everything changing via patch notes. So they're going to break it down more. I just think the important message to get across here right now is that things that you really want to do that are not on this list of things staying, and with raids, I would strongly encourage you need to do Leviathan. It sounds like you need to do Crown of Sorrow, and it sounds like you need to do Scourge of the Past. It sounds like all three of those are going away. I don't quite understand how Scourge of the Past is going out when it takes place at the tower. Maybe there's something about that I don't realize. But it seems like those three aren't going to be around anymore. And I would not languish on the ones staying either. Because if the Dreaming City goes, the Dreaming City goes, Last Wish goes. So, that's important to note. Let's see if there's anything else. And really, that's it, guys. That's the breakdown. So anyway, I hope that that gives you a good foundation to get started figuring out, what you need to do, and start making plans. I can't get terribly, terribly, terribly upset because I feel like the trade for what it'll allow us to do in terms of quality of life and the trade that we're getting with D1 content being able to come in and all those things is great. And I mean, as far as the raids go too, maybe those 3 raids are gone for a year and then they're the 3 raids the next year. So I don't see any reason to really get upset. It's just there's a lot of change, there's a lot to process right now. And, yeah. I think the future is ultimately very bright, and that this compromise is a lot better than it could have been, or even what I expected. So, with that, guys, let's try to get back into that mission and get grinding, huh?